Hey everyone, my name is Whitney. I'm a registered nurse, and in today's video, we're going to talk about how I quit. Yes, you read that correct. I quit Med-Surg. So in a previous video, I was telling you guys all about the love-hate relationship that I have with working Med-Surg day shift, just the craziness of it all, managing a whole boatload of patients, the constant feeling of being underwater, drowning in this hot mess express. And basically, I was just talking about how switching over from day shift to night shift made the craziness of Med-Surg a little bit more tolerable. However, it was around that same time that I realized that if I'm only enjoying a particular specialty of nursing, like during night shift, maybe it's just the specialty of nursing that I'm not enjoying itself. And for me, my main gripe with Med-Surg was just the constant juggling between 5 different patients, constantly having to split my brain all different sorts of ways, and just really wanting to give like the best care to people with like excellence and attention to detail that I just felt like I was never able to really fully give to the best of my ability because I was constantly being stretched so many different ways. Anyway, so I decided that after 2 years of Med-Surg, it was time for a change. So when I started thinking about my next steps, I really took into consideration what parts of nursing am I really enjoying, what parts do I not like, and what do I want to see more of. And for me, I love being able to spend time with my patients. I love making them feel cared for. I love making sure their needs are met, dotting my I's, crossing my T's. And what I don't love is the times where I feel like I'm everywhere yet nowhere at the same time. Like, okay, blanket over here, pain pill over there, dressing change over here, call light over there. And then it's like, oh, you want to take a shower right now? Well, I'm so sorry, but I have overdue antibiotics, another wound care to do, and Mr. Jones is about to fall out of bed again. Like, as much as I really would love to give that patient a shower and make them feel comfortable and at home, it's like impossible to do everything that you want to do to fully care for somebody when there's just so many things to do for so many people. And that was like my every single day life in Med-Surg. It just felt like there was like lots and lots of tasks and less attention, And in addition to more attention to detail, I also wanted to move to a specialty where instead of just having a million tasks to do, I also wanted to have just more in-depth knowledge and understanding of like the science in nursing too, the hows and whats and whys of what we're doing and how it's helping the patient get better. And in Med-Surg, I feel like I never really had the ability to do that. It was more so just about like getting it done, keeping everybody alive, and just hoping you can make everyone feel as cared for as possible while you're doing it. Anyhow, once I put all of those considerations together, it led me to believe that perhaps the ICU would be a really good fit for me. And I know this is a nursing channel, but if you're not familiar with what the ICU is, it stands for the Intensive Care Unit, and it's basically the area of nursing where the really sick patients go. So in Med-Surg, that's kind of like your general stuff, like you've got an infection, a broken leg, things like that. And basically because the patients in Med-Surg aren't as sick, the nursing ratio is 1 nurse to 5 patients or more. But in ICU, the patients are so sick, they require so much close attention that the nurse to patient ratio is 1 nurse to 2 patients. And if you're really sick, then sometimes it's 1 nurse to 1 patient. But anyways, typically ICU is 1 nurse to 2 patients. At least in California, we do not go over that. And actually, before I settled on ICU, I did for a brief moment consider labor and delivery, but I felt like there's just like this deep itch inside of me to be able to acquire the knowledge and understanding and the skill set to know how to take care of patients at the highest level in nursing. So ICU it was. So once I settled on that, from there, I pretty much applied to any and every ICU training position that I could find. And I was legit set on going to whatever came up first. Because at the time, I was working Med-Surg per diem, and my schedule was so inconsistent. I was only getting booked for day shift, and I was constantly getting reminded of all of the aspects of Med-Surg that I really was not enjoying. Anyhow, long story short, I was applying, and God and his perfect timing is so good, because right as I hit the 6-month mark for that new per diem position that I had, which my hospital system requires before you transfer to a new position, and also right as I just got finished paying off my $90,000 of student loan debt, literally right after all of that happened, up came this specialty training position for the ICU in my hospital system in a new city, in an exciting place, which was also 1 hour flight away from my family. So of course I applied for it. Thankfully, I got an interview for it, and ultimately I was offered the position. And actually, funny enough, quick sidebar, I actually applied to 2 different ICUs down there. They were both in the same city. The one that I actually got, I had to fly down there actually, and it was in person, but the other hospital's interview was first, and it was a lot more convenient. It was over FaceTime. FaceTime. But anyways, that interview was so bad. I was so unprepared. Granted, it was last minute. They called me like, hey, you want to interview? And I was like, sure. Anyways, though, that interview was so bad that literally the same night after that interview, I checked my application status online and it immediately was like, yeah, no longer under consideration for this job. I was like, oh. So that definitely took a little hit to my pride, but it really encouraged me to like get back to the lab, prepare, and basically come out swinging for my next interview, which was the interview for this position that I have right now. And honestly, because of that initial failure, this interview went so well. I was so prepared. I was answering all the questions, doing all the things. And I feel like it definitely was all a part of God's plan because turns out that this hospital that I'm actually working for actually has multiple ICUs, and this ICU actually takes on much more sicker patients that the hospital I originally interviewed for. That hospital would send those extra sick patients to my hospital for a higher level of care, which is actually the exact scenario that I was looking for because I really want to learn as much as I can. And when you have the sicker patients, of course, you're going to learn a lot more with that. Anyhow, long story short, God is so good. His timing is so amazing. Just the fact that I was able to completely pay off all of my student loans in the exact same month that I was offered this position, like the exact same month, and for it to coincide with this position and the availability, all of that, like that is some serious orchestration right there. And also not only that, but the fact that I was living at home with my parents, I had no lease to break, I had no mortgage to worry about. I was able to just pick up and go at the drop of a hat to this new opportunity in this new city. Like that was such a huge blessing, especially right at the time that my per diem work was getting like really inconsistent and I really needed to pick up a full-time schedule of full-time hours. To be able to get all of that in this new specialty ICU training position was amazing. That was honestly all I could ask for and then some. Anyhow, I am in week 11 of my new ICU training specialty program. And so far, I am really enjoying the ICU. I am absolutely not regretting this change at all. I'm so thankful every single day that I made this switch and journeyed into this new venture. As far as the ICU goes, I am really enjoying the new workflow, all of the new things that I'm learning, the different type of way that I'm using my brain now. It's still busy, but it's a different type of busy. It's a type of busy that I like and my brain likes a lot better than med-surg busy. But also in addition to that, I also like this like new collaborative nature between nurses and physicians in the ICU. It definitely is a lot different than how I interacted with doctors before working in med-surg. So that's pretty cool too. But anyways, right now I have one more week of training on day shift, and then thank the Lord, we get 2 weeks of training on night shift, and then we're completely on our own, which is low-key terrifying, but also not too terrifying because I do have a very supportive team. It's such a great learning environment where I feel that even though I'll technically be on my own, like independently taking care of these patients, like the team around is so supportive and always there to like answer questions. I'll just be like a resource and a guide. Like that's the type of team that I have around me. So I know I'll never really be on my own or like completely alone. So that is like really reassuring for me. And that is something that I absolutely prayed and asked God for when I was like seeking a new position, a new training, new learning opportunity. I was praying for that type of environment, that type of supportive nature, and He absolutely delivered. Your girl is feeling blessed, your girl is feeling grateful, thankful, all of those things. But anyhow, that is all I have for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. And if you'd like to hear more, go ahead and subscribe. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.